All right, gang, welcome to the Horsch Agrovation campaign map. It's not what you expected. It's not what I expected either, if I'm honest with you. I think we both expected, based on how much I said it, that it was going to be Silver Run Forest. I had multiple issues. So much so that I pretty much lost a whole night. I'm doing this at like 11:30 at night-ish, which is pretty late for me. So let's see how this goes. Anyway, I tried to run Silver Run Forest once. The game crashed. I had to start over. It was before I saved, so I had to start over. Then I ran it a second time, got the whole recording done, went to start doing the edit. It was corrupt. So we couldn't even get an actual video put out of Silver Run, and it took me all day. So basically, I decided that I was so aggravated with that I'm just going to put it to the side. We'll go to Silver Run after this. This will be likely a short one, very similar to Zelonka, unless I'm really enjoying it, which you never know. Maybe I will. But what it does mean is we likely won't have time to do the roller coaster in Silver Run if we can actually get a recording done without it having an issue. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. In any case, we are now on what's it called? Agrovation. Horsch Agrovation. So, we start with an okay amount of money. We don't really have a whole lot in comparison to what we ended up with in the last one, but we do have a lot of equipment, which we will show here shortly. This is our house. It's just a basic, generic house. There's nothing really major to it. Just a square-based, what is that? It's not even stone. It's like stucco house, I guess. There is a few things on our land that we don't make any money off of. We do make money off the windmill, but these solar panels here, we make no money off of it. It's actually, even though it's technically our land and we can put stuff in there, we really don't own it. So we make no money off of those. They're just kind of for looks. Let's go look at our yard, and then I'll show you the map. So our yard is a decent-sized yard. It's pretty hefty. We've got these two big, massive Horman open air, well, they're not fully open air, I guess open sheds. We've got a fantastic, one of the biggest in the game, if not the biggest, John Deere X9 1100, at least for console, for Mod Hub, I should say. The John Deere X9 1100, very happy about that. We also have the John Deere C16F header, and then what's this one? I don't remember what this one's named. The John Deere HD50F header. So those are going to be really useful, and I'll show you why here in just a second. And if you haven't played on this map, or if you have, I guess, if you have played on this map, you'll know why we have such big machinery right off the bat. The fields in this are gigantic. So another shed here, not as big as those, obviously, but another shed. We've got this Krone Primos 5000. Now, this is mostly going to be a test for us. I've never utilized this. It does say you can pick up straw directly off the ground and turn it into pellets. I want to try it out, see if it actually works or not. We did get it used, so not too big of a deal. Actually, a couple of things we got were used, so not a big deal there if it doesn't work out, but in any case, that's that. Now, we only have one drill, and it's a planter. It is the John Deere 1775NT. Clearly, I went on big heavy on John Deere in this one. But our tractor is not a John Deere. We have a Fendt 1167MT. Fantastic tractor. A lot of horsepower. Almost, I think it's just over 600 horsepower in that thing. It's fantastic. A couple other things we have, very minor. Well, I guess not. This is huge. So I guess this really isn't minor. But we've got this massive silo here, which is great. We have a Bergman HTW65 trailer, so that's going to help us out a lot. Hopefully we can put everything in there that I'm expecting, but if we can't, then we'll have to find something else, I suppose. It does say, if I look in the actual stuff, that it will hold. I bought the wrong one. Shoot. Well, I mean, we're going to need it anyway if we're going to try to utilize this, right? If we're going to utilize this, then we're going to need it anyway to pick them up, because I don't... Actually, this might be able to store some. Can this store some in there? Get up there. Come on, Z. It does look like it can store some. So, either way, we can still utilize it. Well, I don't know if I can actually dump it in there or not. Well, anyways, I bought the wrong thing, so we might have to trade that in. So, ignore that for a minute. I apologize. And then we also have our buying silo that we always have, right? It's fantastic. It's so convenient that there's no reason not to have that in every one. Now, the map. What do we own? If you gloss over my issues there. So, we are right here. This is where we are. These little lines here are those solar panels we were talking about, right? This field here, which is a sorghum field. We own this field here, which is an awkward shape, but we own it anyway. This is a cornfield. And we own this field, which is a sunflower field. Huge. Now, if I scan out, you'll see what I'm talking about. There are some small fields, don't get me wrong. There's a couple. But the mass majority of this map, is all huge fields. I would say there's probably a handful of smaller fields and then a handful of medium fields, and the rest are gigantic. And we happen to have 3 of the biggest ones. We certainly don't have the biggest. This is by far the biggest. But I think this one's probably the second biggest. So there's a lot to do and a lot to get done here. Now, before we get started, we're going to have to go buy a trailer since I screwed that up. I swear I picked the right one, but I should have checked that before we started here, I guess, huh? Oh, well. Well. Sometimes I, edit out issues like that. Maybe I will, or maybe I'll just show it to you. I probably will just show it to you, because I make mistakes, man. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But this tractor has the track system, so pretty cool. Let me get up to the shop. It's far away. It's going to take a while. Let me get to the shop. That's probably the only negative about where we are, is that the shop's far away. But let me get to the shop. Let me get an actual trailer. I'll be back. Okay, before I was so rudely interrupted by myself, I was talking about this Strawman Aperion 3401 trailer that we have. We have no other trailer behind it. You see absolutely nothing, and you saw nothing a minute ago. So we have a trailer now, so that's good. One we can actually utilize, hopefully, as long as everything goes smoothly there. Now that I'm looking at the front, I'm freaking out and thinking I did it again. Nope, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right, perfect. So that's the one we're going to utilize, and that'll help us as we carry on here. So, with all of that said, the only thing really to do right now is to jump straight into harvesting. Now, these are not ready, but they will be ready probably in the next episode, if not the next episode, the following one. But our sorghum field is ready. So, we've got to get harvesting. Now, we have some other things we need to purchase that we didn't get out the gate. I also have a header trailer right there you can see on the side there. Sorry, I forgot to mention that one. There are some other things we're going to have to get, right? We've got to get our regular drill. We don't have that. We don't have a sprayer. We don't have a fertilizer spreader. We don't have any of that. So we've got all of that. We still have to find, some way to buy that, makes sense. And, yeah. We're probably going to harvest the sorghum and just put it in the silo. We really have no reason to sell it right now. We don't have tons of money, but we've got a good amount of money. We can survive with 362,000, certainly. Maybe a few things we buy are a little bit smaller than they maybe should be, given the size of our fields, but we can always upgrade those as we carry on here. So we can put those in the silo and just hold on to the sorghum until it's the best time to sell it, which will not be in September. Oh, I can't go through that. Oh, I thought I would be able to drive over that. That's some horse manure. Let me see if I can get through here without killing a tree. Nope. All right. All right, Byron, go ahead. You're just going to cause me issues anyway. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead. I'll drive around this way then. It'll be a pain in the ass. I'll drive this way. I could have put it on just the header trailer, but I'm like, we're right here. Let's just drive over here. I guess I could have went that way too, but whatever. There's a train track right there, and we do have telephone poles running right through this field. So, not the best situation, if I'm honest with you. It is also not the best yield either. If we jump out here really quick and take a look, you can see it's pretty weeded up. So we're only getting a 60% yield bonus. Not good. Not good at all. But the guy we bought it from was up there in age and ready to move on. So we did get a few things from him, a few things that were used. A couple were brand new, basically, and just partially used, like this one. It's only got not even a full hour on it yet. But, he had to upgrade it to be able to sell the land. That was one of the, prerequisites for us. We wanted a harvester, and we got one. We didn't want to buy it ourselves. We wanted it to come with the farm. We wanted to get some kind of a deal out of it. And we also got that pellet, I don't know, what do you call it? I was going to say it's like a wagon thing, but I don't know if that's really what you would call it anyway. But the implement that we got that it says it should, be able to pick up straw off the ground and turn it into straw pellets, we got that as well. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing better than me. Hopefully you didn't have a day full of just either issues with the game crashing and or recording and editing issues of files being corrupt. Hopefully you didn't have any of that occur to you. It doesn't happen very often. Today has just been a weird day. I'm like crossing my fingers right now that this one doesn't have any issues, because if this has issues, then we're in big trouble. There's something wrong with my system or my game or something. And that's not good. That's not what we want. Not by any means at all. Now, this field, even though it's the smallest field we have, it is ginormous. Even with this header, even with the size of this header, this is going to take us an absolute eternity. Let's not even talk about the other ones. The other ones are going to be... I mean, look at this map again. Oh, quick save. Look at this map again. These two are, relatively similar size, but look at this field. Look at this field. So for obvious reasons, and it's been this way for the whole campaign playthrough, as I'm calling it, we don't have withering on. So if we don't get it done in an episode, it's not a big deal. We can carry it to the next episode. The only big deal about that is that it takes another episode to get it done, and we don't have that many episodes, right? This one may be the same amount as I kind of think I mentioned at the beginning, but this one may be the same amount as Zielonka, or maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. It just depends on how much I'm enjoying it. Zielonka, beginning, I was excited about it. I thought I was going to enjoy it. I didn't. So we'll see. We'll see about this map. We'll see how this one goes. I really do like the way the map looks. I think it feels good. When I say feels good, I mean in comparison to Zielonka. Zielonka just looked, I don't know, almost, I think I said this, but it looked almost gray to me. Like, it wasn't like the colors weren't where they should be. Maybe I was just seeing stuff. I don't know. This one doesn't, I don't get that feeling of, though. So, who knows? In any case, we've got to get this done. And it's going to take a while. It's going to take a long while. Now, I don't know how much that silo that we put down actually holds. I have no clue. Well, that's the guy we bought it from, but you know what I mean. The one I put down, an imaginary guy that we bought it from. I don't know how much it holds. I really don't. It probably told me when I put it down, but I didn't really look at it, so I have no clue. They're two big, massive silos, though, so I would hope that they'd be able to hold a lot, right? But I don't know. We are already 65% full, and we haven't even gone halfway around the headland pass here, so this is going to be one where we're going to have to be carting back and forth quite a lot, I suspect. And the worker is going to be doing a lot of this as well. Now, we don't even have a second tractor. We've got to buy another tractor. Because very soon, we're going to have a situation where we're going to need two. We're going to need one so we can cart stuff back and forth for the harvester. And then one that's probably drilling stuff, right? Or spraying stuff, or whatever it may be. So, $362,000 is a lot, but in the grand scheme of how big this map is and how much we have to do, it's really not a lot. We're actually kind of poor. I can certainly buy the small ones, like I said earlier on, right? I said I can buy some smaller stuff, temporarily, but that's going to be painful. Painful to do. I feel like this is already going to be partially painful, even with the size of the header we have, and it's huge. It's like 16 meter width. It's a huge header. I don't know. I'm kind of just ranting and going on a little bit of a vent there, but this is gonna be good though. Now I don't know what exactly we will do. I think for the most part we might put a few productions down, but for the most part we're probably just gonna sell our crop outright. We don't really necessarily need the money for Silver Run, if I can finally get a recording to work properly. We really don't need the money there. We really have, I mean, stop, see, where we left off at Zielonka, we really had enough money to buy everything we want to buy in Silver Run. So it's not like we're hurting for money, per se. We just happen to now be, playing the game with some bigger equipment, which I don't utilize that often. Honestly, even when I played before I started recording videos on YouTube for Farming Simulator, I really didn't utilize the big equipment as much as everything else. I'm an avid fan of old farming equipment. I like older farming equipment a lot. So, for me, it was more of, I like to give myself the challenges that we do on the channel often, where we do, 100 horsepower, 200 horsepower. I didn't specifically do those kind of challenges, but, you know, challenges like that where I could only utilize old equipment or something. I really like those type of challenges. I really like doing Farming Simulator with those type of implements. And I like doing it on maps that have smaller fields. It's just more enjoyable, more fun to me. I don't know why. I have no reason to be that way. I just am. But it's nice that we're actually getting to use some of this big equipment, because I would never use it, like I just said. I would never use this equipment if we didn't do this campaign story-ish playthrough, right? Loose story playthrough. Not even really a story, but you get what I mean. Carrying our money over from map to map and just continuing to gain money every single time. Did I do something wrong again? Oh no. This isn't working either, gang. What am I doing? Okay, phew. I just wasn't lined up properly, evidently. I was like, what? No, don't tell me I'm doing it again. I was like, I swear, I double-checked everything. It was right. It was right this time. Whew. And it was, thankfully. What do you guys feel, or how you guys, how should I word this? How have you guys felt about the 100 horsepower challenge that I put up? Don't forget, episode 2 comes out tomorrow, actually. So look out for that. Make sure you check that out. It's going to be a tough challenge, and you'll find that out real soon. I think episode 2, episode 3 mostly, will really kind of open the eyes. It's probably mostly episode 2, really. It'll open your eyes about how hard it actually is going to be to get $250,000. It's not an easy feat by any means, gang. Not even a little bit of an easy feat. We have pretty much no land. If we had multiple fields, that would be a super easy challenge. But with only one field and basically no money at all now at this point, it is it is going to test my mental toughness, my mental prowess here to try to get to $250,000 by FS25. Will we do it? I don't know. It could be a secondary failed challenge. I keep going back and forth about the Ohio Richlands Broke to Billionaire Challenge series, but I do think that series is probably going to fail. I just don't see any way that we can get to $1 billion at this point. I keep spending money, but I kind of feel like I have to, because it's just taking me so long to do those episodes that I feel like I kind of have to. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. And I'm kind of ranting about a lot of different series here, but I'm just giving you my mind, and I'm in a mood to rant based off of all the issues I had earlier today, trying to record after work and everything else. So back to this series, though. We do have rain in the forecast, as you can see. Now, I don't think I even looked when the rain's coming. So 16. So we've got some time. Will we get this field done? I highly doubt it, but we do have some time. I want to get a headland pass done. I think on this specific map, we should only need one headland pass. I don't think we're going to need more than that. I guess I could be wrong, but I don't think so. This is a Giants created map, so it should have sufficient room for most harvesters to turn around. So I think we'll be okay once we get around to headland pass. I'll probably briefly throw it on a worker. Obviously, I'm going to go until we get this full again. Then I will unload it into our other trailer. Well, our trailer back there, and take it to our silo, and then come back and probably take over the worker for a little while. But it's really just going to be a matter of us getting this field done. These fields are so big, I don't think we're going to be able to do multiple things in an episode. Sorry, gang, hit the microphone there. I don't think we're going to be able to do multiple things in an episode. I think it's going to be, well, we're going to harvest today, or we're going to drill today, or we're going to drill and harvest today, right? If we got a worker doing one or the other. But I don't think we're going to be able to do two. As in, harvest one and then re-drill that same field the same day. I don't think that's going to be possible. Unless I want, to do 2-hour-long episodes, 3 hours of me actually working it, and an hour and a half, 2 hours of actually recording and doing all the edits and showing it to you. So we'll see. Anyway, enough ranting for me. Let's get going here. I don't know how long this time lapse will be. I'll try to make sure it's not a typical. Well, I say typical. I'll try to make sure it is a typical recording where we have 3 to 5, 6 minutes of time lapse, and then I jump back on here and talk with you. But we'll see. We'll see how long it takes and what we get into, and we'll go from there, gang. This is going to be a lot of sorghum. I mean, we're almost full again. We went around the headland once. We're full one time, and we're nearly full a second time already. Oof. It's going to be a fun one, but it's going to be a long one. Well, as you can see, gang, this is taking quite a long time. We're not even anywhere near being done here. I would say we're probably around 1/3 of the way through. Yeah, we got a long, long way to go. Long, long, long way to go. Yeah, probably 1/3. That's what I would say. There is a good chunk left still to do. Now, the only other thing I could really do is I could talk to you a little bit, or just just sit there and harvest it in full time, real time, or put another time lapse in, which I don't like doing time lapses back to back. I most of the time don't even like doing more than 2 max time lapses in an episode. Sometimes I do more than that, but I don't like to do it. But this is literally what we have to do today. Is just harvest this field. We have nothing else we can do. The only other thing I can do is once I get this section finished with the harvest, I can start drilling this field potentially. We can go buy another a drill of some sort. I think we're going to keep this one as our cereal crop, this field. I think we'll keep this one that way, and then the other ones will be our corn and sunflowers, etc. We haven't done corn and sunflowers in a while, so it just felt like it was the right time to do them. But, I mean, the only thing we could try to do, we've done it before, I don't really necessarily know if I want to do it here, is try to split the fields up, but I don't really like that idea either. You know what I mean? So I mean, this is pretty much, I'm probably going to go on ModHub and find, a super unrealistic header, but this is pretty much the biggest header we can get, so, I mean, there might be a super unrealistic header on ModHub that I can get that's, 50 meters or something crazy that will help us out a lot, but, I mean, I use a lot of unrealistic things, I totally get that, but part of me just feels like that's too much cheating, I guess. I feel like we could get the episode done in 10 minutes if I did it that way, but I don't know. Maybe what I'm saying doesn't make sense, or maybe it does resonate with you. Who knows? But, yeah. So I guess we just got to keep on keeping on here, huh? So the rain is coming, gang. It's going to be here soon. We've got less than 2 hours. It's supposed to be here around 1600. And sometimes when it says that, it could start, 30 minutes earlier than that. It could start even, almost an hour earlier than that. So we don't have a whole lot of time. And what that means to me is that there's no way we're going to get this field done. The only way we can get it done is if we drop down the time to super unrealistic speed, where we're, 0.5 or, something like that. Like that. There's no way that we're going to be able to finish this before the rain comes. So I guess it's going to be a matter of we do part of this in this episode and part of it in the next episode. But the problem with that is the next episode, the other 2 fields are going to be ready to harvest. We only have 1 harvester. Could I buy another harvester? Sure I could. It won't be anywhere near this size. It'll be a much smaller harvester. We don't have that much money to play with. I mean, I'm pretty positive those are going to be done. They're pretty dark green. I see no way that they're not ready to harvest in the next episode. So, used market. There's a couple nice things out here, but nothing really for us. I mean, this is the one we have. We don't have enough money to buy it. We could try to get this one, but then the header would be probably too big. And now I'm missing bits because I'm looking at the map. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna keep on this field here, gang, until the rain starts, and we're gonna have to stop then. I mean, we already have a not a very good yielding field that we're harvesting here. So I really don't want to harvest it when it rains, and it's gonna rain for a while. You saw that, right? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I mean, that's gonna rain for a while. The only thing I can think to do is put down something for the sorghum. I don't necessarily, like I said, I don't necessarily want to put down a bunch of productions because I think we have enough to manage and deal with here as it is, but maybe we do put something down, you know, for the sorghum to fill the time, fill the void, so it's not, you know, me just doing nothing this episode but doing the harvest and then, all right, bye, see you in the next episode. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I guess at the beginning of the episode we talked about and showed you the yard and everything, so I guess it wasn't really specifically that, but you get what I mean. I think I've said you get what I mean a lot this episode. I apologize. You smell what I'm stepping in. I'll start saying that. I used to say that all the time back in the day, and now I don't remember who said it. Somebody randomly just said it. I think it was it in Deadpool? I forget. Somebody said it recently, and it just brought it back to me. I used to say, like, smell what you're stepping in all the time when I was really young. I'm talking, like, middle school, high school days. Many, many years ago. I feel like I'm the one that created that. Just kidding. I'm not the one that created that, clearly. But it feels like it, because I was the only one that ever said that back then, that I recall. So this section we kind of, you know, broke off here is done. So that's good. We got this section done. And we're going to have to make our awkward little trip down the telephone wire areas. And then once we're done with that and come back up another pass of that, I feel like the rain's going to be coming. One thing I think would be cool to see, maybe you will do it because they've got tornadoes in FS22, right? So maybe you will, but I think it would be cool, like, all right, we're here, right? We know rain's coming, right? We can look at here, we know rain's coming in a couple hours, right? What if you saw a storm approaching in the distance? So like those mountains or those hills back there, hills, I guess are hills, bluffs, whatever. Those back there, what if you saw like a storm in the distance, far, far distance like that? That'd be pretty cool, right? I'd be down for that. Or even out that way further, because that's technically further, you know, from the end of the map here. I don't think they'll have anything like that, but that would be a cool addition if they were to do that. I could be wrong though. Maybe they will do it. Maybe they will. We're just going to carry on here, continuing to wrap around these telephone poles and clearing out the sorghum here, and we'll see how far we get here before the rain shows its ugly head to us. Well, we made it to the end of the telephone poles. Flip around here. It's going to be a little bit of an awkward shape there for a second, but that's alright. Now we do still have 2 more telephone poles and then 2 trees as well, which realistically we should get rid of those trees, right? We should remove those. That will be one less thing we have to wrap around and waste time on. Telephone poles, I don't think there's any way to remove those. I think they're just going to be stuck there no matter what we do, so yeah, we're not getting rid of those. The trees, they can go bye-bye. So there's the solar panel field I was talking about back there, which we don't make any money off of. I did place down the windmill there, so we do get money off of that, which is good because we need the money. Let's flip around and unload this thing again, and we'll take it and drop it off the silo. 1438. We may get further along than I'm expecting, but like I said, I fully think the rain will be here in an hour. We have 51,999 liters of sorghum in storage at current. It's not a bad price, it really isn't. But we're going to wait till January. That's when it's best, averagely. Or on average, it's best in January, I should say. It's a very finicky little placement there. With me, that looked like I was underneath it, but evidently I wasn't. I think it's because of the way that it shoots out of the pipe. It's not in a straight down position, it's more in like an angle shootout position, so... Now, I've done a few mistakes this episode, obviously, early on. The trailer is mistake number one. And then I've had a few mistakes where I just missed portions or I drove into part of the crop because I thought I still had a little bit more room and didn't, and I wasn't able to hit the brake fast enough, but it's alright. It's not too bad. We haven't done that bad. I'm sure I'll get yelled at in the comments, though, about the trailer thing, but at least we made it into a funny, well, kind of funny joke, right? Told you, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, man. I make lots of mistakes. It's part of life. Anyway, let's carry on here. Let's see how far we get before the rain gets here, huh? Well, we're actually getting a lot more done than I was expecting, gang. A lot more done than I expected. But, hey, we'll take it. It's 15:22. Still no rain. So maybe it'll hold off. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll hold off. But I guess we kind of hope for it, right? So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to unload this, come back, we'll unload the rest out of the harvester, and then I will put it on a worker for a brief period of time. I'm going to see if I can find something to do some sorghum, some kind of small production. I don't want anything crazy. Small little house production that you've seen before, I'm sure. If you've watched any of my other different series on the channel, you definitely have. Probably that, unless I find, you know, something else that's relatively inexpensive. But those tend to be pretty cheap. And they work well. So we'll probably find something like that to utilize for the sorghum here, just so we can do something with the sorghum now, make a little bit of money, a little bit more money, I guess, because we could definitely need it. We could definitely use it. Drill, sprayer of some sort, fertilizer spreader, which we could utilize the sprayer for the same thing, but it is more expensive. All of that, another tractor. Those are all things we need to buy still. Now, when the worker goes here, he's going to go in a very awkward position, or awkward direction, I guess I should say. Which isn't exactly what we want, but we'll make it work, right? Just let the worker do what he wants to do. We'll make it work. We'll figure it out. It won't be that bad. Once we get him on target. We might have to reset him up again eventually at some point, but we'll let him just go and do his thing there. We'll just pull this out of the way for a minute. Alright, and let's see what we can find here. We want a production. And we want something for sorghum that's not too expensive. I mean the grain mill, but let me look through here. What I'm talking about originally, what I was talking to you about, unless I find something else, it's going to be one of these. Where are we at? Oh, they're all the way at the end. They're always at the end. These things right here. They're 10 grand. They're not that expensive, and they're very useful. You get a lot of good stuff out of them. So, actually, is there even a sorghum for it? I don't even think I've ever checked that. There is. Okay. Potatoes. Well, you probably have to mix it with potatoes, so maybe there isn't anything. Let me look at everything else. Let me see what I can find, gang. I'll see if I can find something for it, and I'll be right back with you. Well, a mill is really the only thing we can do with the sorghum, gang, without having to add something else, and we don't have anything else right now, so there's really no point for us to put something down, unless we were able to, you know, implement that with something else, but currently we don't have that possibility, so it's either we put down a sawmill of some sort, or we just let it go. Now, I could just make up my own. That wouldn't be too bad, but everything else is a little too pricey right now, so I guess it is going to be an episode of just harvesting this field and not a whole lot of anything else. Unfortunately, we don't really have the money to spend on that right now. We've got to re-drill this field in the next episode. I certainly could utilize the planter, right, and do sunflowers or corn, but I really wanted to keep this as a cereal crop. So, plus, like I've already mentioned a number of times, we've got all the other stuff we have to buy still. So, I don't know. Oh, he just drives right through the pole. Can we drive through the pole? Shit, I don't even know. Can we drive through? Are we able to drive through the pole? Or is that just because it's the worker? That's bizarre. Okay. I mean, I don't really want to drive through the pole. I still want to do it kind of realistic-ish. But that's not what I was expecting to happen there. Wow, okay. Well, there you go. I guess we don't have to necessarily worry about the worker. He's just going to drive right through the telephone pole. So we'll carry on here, gang. We'll keep harvesting until the rain gets here, and then I guess we'll have to end it for the today. But maybe we'll get lucky and get it all done before the rain gets here. But with the rain supposed to be here at 1600, and it's 1546, so don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Right exactly at 1600, the rain's here, gang. Right exactly at it. So we got a good chunk done, but we didn't get it all done. There's a lot more done here than I was expecting, honestly. If we do a bird's eye view, the best I can do, I mean, that's not much. That's really not much. I was expecting it to be more around in this range, you know, this telephone pole, that we'd have that over to this way to the left. So we got a lot more done than I expected, but man, do we have a lot left to do. So, and next episode's gonna be one where we can't get everything done again. It's just no way. So, pretty much just harvested this field the entire time, with the exception of the beginning there, gang, and trying to figure out something to do with the sorghum that didn't work out. But we accomplished a lot, and I feel like this is going to be a fun series. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're prepared and excited for this series as well. I'm sorry that it was supposed to be Silver Run and it just didn't work out. We will, at some point, hopefully hit Silver Run. As long as I can get the footage to actually not be corrupt or the game did not crash on me when I run Silver Run. I don't know why it's happening, but it is. So I'm going to work on that, try to get through it. Hopefully I'll be able to sort it out, and, you know, after we run this series for a little while, hopefully we can jump back over to Silver Run and actually get the series done. So, again, hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like and subscribe button if you're new. It's free. It helps me a ton. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, let me know down below. I'm happy to get back to you on those, and I'll catch you on the next one.